Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a tutorial, but not just any tutorial. I'm going to be doing my makeup with the most expensive products that I have. I've seen a lot of people do this video before and I thought it would be fun to do it. So if you're interested, keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to start with priming my face, and the most expensive primer that I have is this one by Hourglass. This is the Vanish, this is the Veil Mineral Primer. This is a travel size, but the full size, it is very expensive. So although I didn't spend my money for the full size, I think the primer itself is enough expensive. So I've used this primer before a couple of times. I do like it. I think it makes your face nice and smooth. It is a little bit different from all the other primers that I have in a good way. It gives a very nice and smooth surface to the face, and it is also not a thick primer. For example, my NYX Angel Veil, that also does kind of a similar job, but that one is quite thicker than this. Alright, you're gonna see all of my Hourglass products in this video because it's Hourglass and it's expensive. So by the way, I did a creative look before I filmed this video, and I used a yellow face paint. I also used some on my fingers, and they are a little bit stained for today, so bear with me. I'm gonna move on to foundation, and of course it's gonna be another Hourglass product. This is the Vanish stick foundation in the shade Natural. It will probably be a little bit dark for me, but it is my most expensive foundation, so I had to use it. I really like this foundation. Yeah, that is a bit dark. It has a very nice natural finish. It's not too dewy, it's not too matte. It does last very long, and it feels very lightweight. It almost feels like skin, like you don't have any product on your face. The only thing that annoys me a little bit is that it doesn't apply so easy on the face. I have other stick foundations that are creamier and blend a little bit easier, but also that makes them a little bit heavier too. Not a big deal. It's only when you actually apply the product and then you have beautiful skin for the rest of the day. So it's a very small price to pay. Well, except from the price of this foundation. It does give a very nice coverage. It's not completely full coverage, but I really like how much coverage it gives you. And it literally feels like I have no foundation on my skin. The color wasn't too bad after all. Look how nice my skin looks. I have a few breakouts, but other than that, it looks very nice. I miss this foundation a little bit. I used it when I had a little bit of a tan, and that was a while ago, and I've missed it. But of course, I don't use it that often because it's very pricey. Always when I do my foundation, I go over it with a sponge, but this one doesn't even need that. I'm just gonna go just a little bit around my smile lines and forehead and nose, so that everything is blended perfectly. No matter what brush I use with this foundation, doesn't leave any streaks, which is awesome. Now I'm gonna move on to concealer. I should have done my eyes first. Since I forgot to do my eyes first, I'm gonna do my eyes and then put on concealer. I hope it works. So it was very easy to find my most expensive palette because I don't have any other palette with this price tag, and that is the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. I mean, you do get a lot of shadows, but still the price is quite high. Just because I have done quite a few looks with this palette, I thought I would combine it with another palette, which is in the same category with other palettes that are most expensive right after this palette, and that is the Hallberg Enchanted Secrets palette. Just like I said, I have a few other palettes that are around the same price, but I chose this one because it has only 4 shades, and the pans are quite big, but still they are just 4 shades. When I use this palette, I usually do a purpley rosy-ish look, so I think I'm gonna keep it a little bit neutral this time. But first I'm gonna prime my eyes using concealer, and my most expensive concealer has to be the Shape Tape. You get quite a bit of product, but still it is very expensive. I'm just gonna put that on my eyelids and blend it out. So what I'm going to do first is set that concealer, and I'm using the shade right here, which is called Bay. I like it because it's bright enough and it has a yellow undertone. It's not so pinky. Other shades like this are usually a little bit pinkier. Next I'm going to take this shade right here, which is called Sandalwood, and I find it to be the perfect shade for a warm brown like this. The perfect undertone. I'm just going to put that all over my crease. Okay, so I've decided to go with a shade Dubai right here. I have said before, and everybody has said before, that those shades right here are a little bit chunky and not very easy to apply. They are very gorgeous, but they need to be easy to apply too. But I find that Dubai is a little bit less chunky. Ooh, look at that. I guess I'm going for a darker look. Okay, that did actually apply quite easy. I guess I haven't used that shade enough. And I'm gonna take the shade Cocoa right here, which is in very nice brown. I don't want this brush. I'm taking the Zoeva 227, which is tapered like this. And I'm taking this brush because I only want the color to come straight to my crease. Now I'm taking the first brush that I used with the shade Sandalwood and blend out the edges. I'm just gonna apply a little bit more of the shade Dubai just because we missed some while blending. And then to give a little bit of a duochrome effect, I'm gonna go with the shade Orphic, which is this right here. I'm only gonna put some on my center of the eye. So much for keeping it neutral, huh? I really like the way it turned out. Now I have some fallout. I'm just gonna take a brush and try to remove it. And then with a wipe, I'm just gonna remove the rest of it. And that's why I didn't do my concealer, although I have already done my foundation. And of course, I'm gonna go straight with my concealer now. I really need to sleep. Now I'm gonna set my under eyes, and for that I'm gonna be using another Hourglass product, and this is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I'm just gonna remove any creasing, take some of that powder. I haven't used powder in a while because when I do my makeup I don't really set it lately, and I find that it makes the skin look healthier and glowier, especially now during the summer. I know it might not last as long as with powder, but I still prefer it, at least for now. But this powder is so smooth and nice. I'm gonna take the shade Cocoa once more with a small flat brush and just gonna put that closer to my lower lash line and mostly on the outer corner, and then take the same brush that I applied the shade Sandalwood on my lower lash line without any extra product, and I'm just gonna try to blend out everything together. I really like that Linda Hallberg shade in the middle. Okay, so I think I'm gonna leave it like that for the eye look for now. I'm gonna move on to my brows because they're killing me to see them like this. I need to do them as soon as possible. So my most expensive brow product is the Urban Decay Brow Blade. And I mean, it does come with 2 products in one, and I guess that's why it's a little bit pricier. But honestly, even only for the brush side, I think it's worth it because of the hair-like strokes that you can do. I have said many times before that I do prefer a brow pomade, but a brow pencil works too. I just don't think it's as precise. But with the other side of the brow blade, you can be more precise. I do like to create hair-like strokes, especially here at the end of my brow, because it gives it a more natural and bushy look, which I prefer. Okay, now this is too much. I usually don't do this much, because I don't need to because of the brow pomade. It's already precise enough, but now I don't know, I'm not loving this. Just gonna try to brush it out with my spoolie. It helps, I guess. I guess it's fine. I'm gonna leave it like that. It does take some getting used to this thing because just like an eyeliner, I feel like the bristles are a little bit too long. If they were a little bit shorter, I feel like I would have a little bit more control over the brush. But this works too. Just need to get used to it. Okay, that was too dark. This is a little bit nicer. And then to set them, I'm gonna be using the brow gel. I don't have any other brow gel at the moment. I used to have some from the drugstore. I just don't like them. I don't think they're as good as this one. So this is the only one and the most expensive that I have. But you do get a lot of product. I have to say that the ink on this side, it can change color a little bit. When I use a lot of brow gel, it starts to get a little bit purple, which is weird, so that's why you have to be careful. And it actually says somewhere you should use it on bare skin so that the color wouldn't change. And I get it, but I don't always have that problem, only when I use too much of this and of the brow gel. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to my face because it needs some color. It looks very flat. So the most expensive bronzer that I have is this one, MAC Give Me Some. When it comes to blushes and bronzers, I have mostly from the drugstore. And when it comes to highlighters, I have both drugstore and high-end, almost at the same ratio. This might be a little bit dark for me right now, so I'm gonna try to go with the light hand. I love this bronzer for the summer because it's quite warm and it just looks so beautiful on tan skin. It does look a little bit orange now, but we're just rolling with it. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I went a little bit too high here, so I'm just gonna take my foundation brush and try to cover it just a little bit. Now for blush, my most expensive one is this one by Tarte. It is in the shade Sensual. It is this very beautiful neutral blush. I've been really liking colors like this, because it's not always you want a peachy or a pinky blush. Sometimes you want something more neutral, especially with an eye look like this. You have already a lot going on the eyes, so you don't need the drama everywhere. Now for highlighter, I'm gonna be using two highlighters, one liquid and one powder. For my liquid one, I'm gonna be using this one by Tilbury, the Hollywood Flawless Filter. I've talked about this product so many times. I cannot not use it, so I've been using it almost every time I've done my makeup. It is a liquid product and I have already applied powder, but it still works just fine. You just have to blend it, and the best way to blend it is with a sponge. And right on top of that, for a pressed powder highlighter, I have this one by Becca. This was limited edition actually. It is in the shade Gold Lava. Becca highlighters are pricey, but they are very beautiful and they are intense and they don't have glitter on them. This one might have a little bit more glitter than the other ones, but I'm still gonna use it. It is very gold, as you can see. It is called Gold Lava, but I don't mind having gold highlight from time to time. Look at that. And as you can see, I don't swipe it, I try to press it, just because I have the liquid highlighter underneath, and that wouldn't make it so easy to swipe. It would be patchy. I think I'm gonna leave it like this because it's quite gold. I don't want it to be overwhelming. And then, just because I said it is a little bit glittery than the other Becca highlighters, I'm gonna go with my sponge and press it a little bit, so to tone it down, just a tiny bit. Okay, that should do it. Now I'm gonna finish off the eyes. So at the moment, I do not have a high-end mascara. I'm gonna be using one from drugstore, but I am gonna be using some high-end lashes. And the lashes that I'm gonna be using are the House of Lashes Iconic Lite. The House of Lashes are my most expensive lashes. These and the other iconic ones are at the same price. I just chose this one because they are my favorite. So I think I'm gonna apply them off camera and I'll be back to finish off the look. So lashes are on, and I also did put some lower lash mascara. And I'm gonna take the Becca highlighter again. I'm gonna use it as an inner corner highlighter. Okay, so before I do my lips, I'm gonna do my setting spray. And at the moment, the most expensive setting spray that I have is the MAC Fix Plus. It was actually very little different between this one and my iconic London one. I used to have the Glam Glow Glow Setter spray. Glow Setter? Yes. But I ran out of it and I haven't repurchased it yet. So that one is pricier than the Fix Plus. But I don't have it right now. So I'm gonna go in with some Fix Plus. So this is always gonna be a good setting spray. Now while that dries, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off this look with my lips. I do have a lot of lip products, but I found that the most expensive ones are the Dose of Colors liquid lipsticks. So I'm gonna be using this one. It is in the shade Peachy. Should I use this or... No, you know what? I'm gonna go with one which is a little bit more cool toned. So that's why I'm gonna be using the shade Bear With Me, which is just a little bit more cool toned. This look doesn't have too much warmth to it, so I don't want my lips to be too warm. I haven't used this shade in a very long time. Alright, so I think this completes this look. So these are my most expensive makeup, all combined in one look. So let me know what you think. I mean, I do like it, but I do think that I could achieve very similar looks with products from the drugstore. And that's the cool part, that there are so many products at the drugstore that are very good quality. I'm not sure how much all of these products cost together, but I'm pretty sure it's quite a big amount, so I'm not even gonna bother to find out. Alright, so let me know what you think. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye!